Anyway, let's get back to the White House rescinding the attempt to freeze federal aid spending, and also opinions from the Judge McConnell.
There was huge pushback. What happened?
That's absolutely right, Chris. This is a major turnaround for the Trump White House, rescinding this memo that went out late Monday night that caused all sorts of chaos and confusion.
I think you're going to see a lot of stuff like this where the Trump White House does something so insane, like truly heinous and insane. And because there's no like real counterbalance whatsoever, there's no real line of attack, there's no real resistance against that, right? Because there's none of that, basically they'll just end up taking it back, or they'll have internal struggle. Like they are going to fight amongst themselves because there's no one else to fight against them. Putting up practice shots, yes.
Or federal government departments and agencies to freeze what could have been hundreds of billions of dollars in federal aid funding while those agencies were ordered to comply with President Trump's new executive orders. Now, in a new memo that I obtained about 45 minutes ago, the OMB has officially rescinded that Monday memo. This comes after enormous pushback from Democrats who argue that this could harm programs that their constituents rely on in red states and blue states. It has sparked some reaction already here on Capitol Hill. The rescission, that is. Senator Chuck Schumer, the Democratic minority leader, says, quote, though the Trump administration failed in this tactic, it's no secret that they will try to find another. And when they do, it will again be Senate Democrats there to call it out, fight back, and defend American families, unquote. That's Chuck Schumer taking some credit for creating the kind of noise and pushback that sparked the White House to rescind this memo. The White House tried a tactic yesterday to simply clarify the original memo, which was vaguely worded. It didn't make clear which programs were.
Go Demis go. Dude, they didn't do anything. That's what I'm saying. This is what I mean. They just straight up did not do anything. They literally didn't do anything. The Republicans were like, the one guy that did something was a Reagan era judge. Okay. And I'm not even giving him that much credit because it's or not the Reagan era judge. The freeze wasn't, the Reagan era judge was for the, oh my God, there's so many executive orders. The Reagan era judge was against birthright, which was like clearly unconstitutional. There was another judge that applied. I don't know if he was a Reagan era judge or not, but there was another judge that obviously applied a stop, a Biden judge, a Brandon judge. That's it. That's the only thing that Democrats technically did. What remains of the judicial system that hasn't been completely destroyed.
And weren't affected in terms of that federal aid.
Yeah, their urgency was non-existent. White House Budget Office has officially rescinded the order authorizing a federal freeze on grants, according to the document obtained by the Washington Post. The timing of it is really funny because it was 4 minutes before the Democratic Party's emergency meeting that took place not immediately after this thing came down the wire, but a whole 24 hours afterwards. Absolutely brutal Quinnipiac poll for the Democrats. Republican Party gets 43% favorability rating, 45% unfavorability rating. The Democratic Party gets 31% favorability, 57% unfavorability. Democrats keep going. You didn't vote for us. You didn't vote for us over and over again. And then refuse to do anything that is helpful for their constituents. Refuse to launch any sort of serious, refusing to launch any sort of serious battle against the Republican Party. trying to undermine their agenda in any meaningful fashion. The Democrats straight up are the light Republican Party at this point. Or, I mean, not at this point. They've been the light Republican Party. And then all of a sudden, we're just going to be, we're supposed to be shocked that nobody likes them and their base of support has withered away. I know the press secretary said something else, chat. Don't worry. I know. I have that on the docket as well. Hold on. Yeah. Hold on. Where is it? Ay. We're so fucking cooked, dude. Oh. I thought the stream froze. You were so still. Yeah, it's because I'm EP.
One of the big questions there was Medicaid. The White House was not clear initially whether Medicaid would be part of that freeze. That's 72 million people who had health insurance who could potentially be affected. They issued a clarifying memo yesterday saying that Medicaid was not affected, but still the confusion that this has sparked across the country appeared to be enough for the White House to say simply no need for the federal aid freeze anymore. And the agencies and departments can try to comply with President Trump's executive orders without the more aggressive action of freezing aid. In a way, Chris, this is politically the first win that Democrats have had in the new Trump era. This was something that the Democrats were very united on in terms of pushing back, right in their sweet spot of saying, of trying to convey to voters that they're the party of middle-class benefits and using the government to try to protect people who need it. So next steps, Trump's executive orders remain in place. He's signed a flurry of them. Now the government is going to have to try to implement them without this drastic step.
Okay, couple points here. Number one, Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, said this is not a rescission of the federal funding freeze. This is simply a rescission of the OMB memo. Why? To end any confusion created by the court's injunction. The president's executive orders on federal funding remain in full force and effect and will be rigorously implemented. Now, as you guys know, this is happening because, well, the real reasons why it's happening is because this has been a fantasy project for the Republican Party for quite some time, which is undermining the federal government and destroying all the grant structures that go to 501c3s that work with underserved people or any number of different causes, including veterans and things like that. But the reality of the matter is the Republicans have fantasized about turning this process into a privatized one for quite a while. And, Trump, the mad lad, is absolutely doing it, right? He's pushing for it at least. So this is something that the Republicans have fantasized about for quite a bit. But the reason why they say they're doing this is even more insane. If you ask Donald Trump, the reason why they're doing this is because they want to combat woke. That's right. They're doing this because they want to combat woke. Yeah. They're looking at the federal government grants, like spending grants, and they are investigating which one of those grants are going to quote unquote woke causes. It's crazy. Yeah, they're looking at Marxist equity initiatives. So if you are, I don't know, working with like homeless people or something, and that is considered obviously a Marxist socialist equity initiative, then yeah, your funding is going to get taken away. No more funds for that sort of thing. The only initiatives that are allowed is if you teach homeless veterans how to do cryptocurrency schemes or something. Yeah, bootstrapping. In court just now, the states are introducing press secretary saying the funding freeze is still active as evidence that the lawsuit should continue. Judge McConnell says that prior to the withdrawal of the OMB spending freeze memo, he was inclined to issue a temporary restraining order given the lack of clarity / potential for harm. Now he thinks there may need to be a case-by-case legal action as funding is blocked. The states say the White House statement suggests the original sweeping spending freeze is still in effect, even if the OMB memo describing it has been pulled. The harm continues, they say, so they want a restraining order. Judge McConnell will grant the restraining order, saying the withdrawal of the hugely ambiguous OMB order is only a distinction without a difference based on comments by President's press secretary. What? Just to be clear, this isn't Buzz Lightyear the toy. This is the origin story of the human Buzz Lightyear that the toy is based on. Yeah. Do you think community health centers fall under equity? What do you think? Yes. Anything that is like helping underserved people, underserved communities, populations, marginalized people in general is yes, 100%. It is 1,000%, not 100, 1,000% Marxist nonsense. Good news. Senate Dems blocked the ICC sanction bill besides Fetterman. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that the I only saw that because Republicans were complaining because they think that the Democrats blocked it because of Huma Abedin. Because technically Huma Abedin, right? That's her name, right? Is it Huma Abedin? No. What's George Clooney's wife's name? Amal Clooney, not Huma Abedin. Shit. I keep messing this up. Why do I keep doing that? That's like the 8th time I've done this. Amal Clooney, George Clooney's wife, as you guys know, is a British lawyer and a human rights activist. Okay? I don't know. Why do I keep doing that? That's like, Huma Abedin is fucking Hillary Clinton's assistant, dude. What the fuck is wrong with me? This is literally the 8th time that I have mistaken these two names. I don't know why. Your race is probably, yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's what it is. Anthony Weiner's ex-wife, yes, famously. Yeah, they kind of have that same, like, hot Mena beauty look to them. That's probably why. So, Republicans are claiming that the Democrats actually blocked this. The Republicans actually blocked this because Amal Clooney, the British lawyer and human rights activist that works with the ICC on the Israel case, would get sanctioned by this. So George Clooney made the boss call to the Democrats, as he's a top donor of the Democrats, and told the Democrats to, go against this. That's the speculation, and I think it's very funny that the Republicans think that the Democrats actually give a shit about George Clooney to that degree. They don't give a shit about anything.